Hello everyone, my name is Gaden and welcome to Chaos Child. A while ago we did Chaos Head Noah and that was a trip. Let's just go with that. It was a trip, that's for damn sure. And now, we're gonna go through Chaos Child. This is the last game I currently own of the, I think it's called like the Adventure Science series or whatever. I think I heard that there's one more other game, but I don't know how to get what that one is. I might have to look at it. Only thing I want to mention, so a couple things I want to mention actually before we get into it. One, audio, as always, might be screwy when we start. So if it is, apologies. Second off, I am using a patch of sorts. If you remember back on Chaos Head Noah, I mentioned before that I said I was using a patch called Committee of Zero patch. I am doing the same thing for Chaos Child here. So I just figured I should do that because it might just help with making things consistent, I guess. So yeah, we're using the Committee of Zero patch for this game. And yeah, I'm also going to use a guide for it. However, I'm not going to try and... I'm only kind of like looking at the guide sparingly. Let's just go with that. Just to make sure, like, am I, like apparently for this first playthrough, just pick whatever delusions I want, it won't hurt the ending. So, let's get to it. November 6th, 2009 AD, 10:28 p.m. It came without warning. Hmm? Helicopter. What? And the world's gone. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake, with an epicenter directly underneath the city. This disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas to nothing in a single night. This is the high-rise buildings that had birthed so many trends and fads collapsed, as if giving up their role in society. Black fire spread through the city. As individuals fell into the grip of the crowd's psychology, their terror was magnified. Combined, all these things took many lives. The final death toll was 3,851. The final number of injured was 30,927. This event would later be known as the Shibuya earthquake. Even in all that destruction, people still suffered the most in their hearts. Some who had lost their families came together to share new resolve, while others who had been forced to watch their friends die were driven by guilt to take their own lives. As a baby was miraculously reunited with its parents after 72 hours, a child in an evacuation shelter asked her dad, "When's Mommy coming home?" He had no answer. Some of the wounded made it to hospitals by looking at real-time updates on the web. Others saw people on the internet talking about the disaster as if it were a movie and were driven mad. A homeless man was saved from malnutrition by an organized volunteer group. At the same time, a middle school boy punched a self-centered volunteer who come to Shibuya to find himself in the face. It was the first time in that boy's life he'd ever been violent. The psychological toll was incredible, and many of the survivors would later manifest symptoms similar to those associated with PTSD. The young were hit the hardest, and before long the cause of those symptoms were given a name: Chaos Child Syndrome. Rebuilding happened at a feverish pitch never seen before. It felt inappropriate to say, "hang in there," but people felt that somebody had to do something. The new slogan was Shibuya, a city reborn, and no amount of money or manpower was spared in aiding the endeavor. The whole town was in a grip of a fever. In private, a leader of the redevelopment effort said, "This may sound unkind, but this frenzy feels like a town burying its grief by holding a festival." Building codes were rigorously evaluated with an eye toward earthquake engineering. Perhaps in an effort to emphasize the city's safety, security cameras were put up all over town. Shibuya would become a place where everyone could live in peace. But at the same time, a rumor began to spread about the earthquake. Something about this earthquake doesn't make sense. There were no aftershocks, and the damage had spread in a strange way. Harajuku and Ebisu, areas only a kilometer away from Shibuya, suffered few casualties and even fewer collapsed buildings. This damage pattern had never been observed in any prior earthquake, and so more than a few pundits claimed the Shibuya earthquake must have been artificial. More than anything, some of the survivors all said the same thing. I saw a white light. I heard a sound like a ringing in my ears. Too many people experienced this for anyone to laugh it off, but no cause of those phenomena was ever found. It was just more evidence to those who believed that something about the earthquake had been wrong. Then, 6 years after the strange earthquake, in 2015, something else was about to attract attention in the reborn city of Shibuya. So this really does take place sometime after the first game. Chaos Child. September 7th, 2015, Sunday night.
Okay. I'm
gonna take 3 minutes for questions. Get to it. I feel like I should lower the audio on voices. Voice volume. Okay. The second he spoke, the comment box started to fill. Utani Yuma watched it for a few seconds, and then saw the request, "When does Haru-chan tell she's dating somebody?" He smiled to himself. Just what he wanted. Most of the requests were about hot actors or cute idols. His audience was so stupid that it was easy to tell exactly what they were going to ask. The problem was always whether the name that came up was someone he knew. That was a question of luck and how popular they were. But Haru-chan, her full name was Haruko or something or other. She was fine. Just a few days ago, he'd forced himself to go to an event he'd rather have skipped and seen it for himself.
Yes.
Okay. Satisfied, Utani got up to get some snacks, like he always did. He lived in a one-bedroom condo located 8 minutes from Shibuya Station. Cost 150,000 yen per month. It had been built after the earthquake, so the furnishings and layout were modern. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he'd lived in last year, it was heaven.
Next year, maybe I'll move somewhere more convenient.
At 21 years old, Utani felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he'd gone big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he stopped leaving his room altogether. Then he'd gotten addicted to drugs that made him sleepy, but did nothing else. Once, seeing only darkness in his future, he planned to commit suicide. In the chaos after the earthquake 6 years ago, he finally managed to leave his room, but his family had already given up on him. After he failed his entrance exams, he went to live on his own in Shibuya, and he hadn't spoken to his parents since. As far as they knew, he'd failed the exams 3 times in a row. In fact, he hadn't even gone to the test after the first time. There wasn't anything he wanted to learn in college, or any companies he wanted to work for badly enough. He had no goal in life at all. But things were different now.
Maybe that channel does tell the truth sometimes. Guess I'll have some cheese.
He took a block of cheap cheese he'd bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Usually, he never ate anything this cheap. But on Nikonia live streaming, it wasn't just what you said, how you looked when you said it also mattered. Utani wasn't a good-looking man, let alone a cute girl. He was just a plain old guy, so to keep his program popular... Before we continue looking at that, why don't we look at the tips list and see some of the new stuff. Nico Nia live streaming, fictional. Live streaming service offered by Nico Nia Video, also known as Nia Live. Just like normal Nico Nia videos, viewers can embed comments into the video itself, and the streamer can see what the viewers are saying in real time. Nico Nia offers official live streams as well as, and while they used to be dedicated to various subcultures back when the site first founded, they recently branched out into subjects such as news, sports, politics, and economics. As of 2015, Nico Nia's lineup is large enough to be compared to that of a major TV station. That channel, Japan's most popular anonymous message board, covers a wide variety of topics from cooking to anime to current events. Catchphrase is everything from hacking to tonight's dinner. As of 2015, half its users are in their late 20s to early 40s, and the age of the average user goes up every year. The primary reason for this is believed to be that younger users are switching to social networks. Haruko Natsuno, the 19-year-old minor celebrity, Aru-chan became famous as a result of her bold declaration that no one in her age knew as much about retro games and retro anime as she did, as well as her ability to back up that declaration on various podcasts and live streams. She is known for wearing glasses, plain clothes, hairstyles, said to be one of the main reasons she's popular otaku. Online podcasts are open to public. PTSD, short for post-traumatic stress disorder, from the DSM-IV, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 4th edition, published by the American Psychiatric Association in 1994. A mental condition caused by the severe psychological shock of an accident, disaster, crime, or other intense stressor. It induces several stress-related symptoms, including emotional instability, insomnia, confusion, and vivid flashbacks. These symptoms are often triggered in response to stimulus that is similar to the original trauma. A patient must experience these symptoms for over a month in order to be diagnosed with PTSD. Interesting. He needed to make them think he was poor, barely managing to scrape by, in fact. That's why he kept the area around his PC and the parts of his apartment that you could see with his webcam completely plain. Last month, he finally reached his goal of 4,000 viewers. For a man with nothing going for him like Utani, this looks extremely unusual. 3 months ago, he'd guessed the winners of a popularity contest a certain idol group was holding, as well as their total number of votes. That must have really paid off. After that, his numbers had been going up steadily. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nico Nia's video page, he'd seen a huge increase. Right now, he'd gone above 4,500, and it was quite possible he'd break the 5,000 by the end of the month. It was around late last year when he'd started to wonder about his power. There was a certain rumor on one of @channel's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. The name he'd chosen for his stream name subtly reflected this. TIL. I can see the future. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. There was a strange sound.
Huh?
He thought he just imagined it when... Knock, 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 knock. He heard it again. It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door.
Huh?
Huh?
Mitsurin-ka?
Jungle, maybe? What does that mean? An American online shopping site that's the largest in the world. It sells books, appliances, food. Oh, it's Amazon. Suspicious, he walked toward the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Not exactly normal delivery hours. Oh, come on. I'm streaming right now. He tried to ignore it, but... The knocking continued. It was the same rhythm, at the same pace. As if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but simply to make that sound. Utani felt a bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera and see who it was, but then realized that would be pointless. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had a camera. The door to Utani's room on the 5th floor had an intercom, but no camera. Utani gave up. Damn it. If you want something, push the intercom button. Knock, 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 knock. It It's the same rhythm, too.
酔っ払いか
Maybe it's drunk.
No, the knocks were too steady for that. And there was no voice yelling at him to open up. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow this made the door seem intimidating. Utani thought he might look through the peephole to see who was outside. He was then disgusted to find himself too scared to even get close to the door. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. He turned toward the living room so he could use the intercom and find out what they wanted. Tani-san, it's me. Sorry to come by so suddenly. He stopped when he heard that voice. It's me. Sorry to bother you when it's this late. Utani tried to remember who the speaker was, but found he couldn't. But from the tone of the voice and the words, they probably weren't a weirdo. When they said, "I'm sorry," it sounded like they really meant it. Utani sighed softly with relief, and then realized he was still carrying the knife he had been using to cut the cheese. It suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He quickly laid the knife on top of the sink.
はいはい。今開
Right,
けます。
let's open it now.
どちら様
Who
で
is
す
it?
か
It's me. Don't you remember? The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Utani whispered to himself as he opened the door. Probably not a good idea. Utani narrowed his eyebrows at the people standing there. He looked them up and down, and then looked at their faces again. Their eyes met.
あんたら、どこ
Who
の
are
どな
you
た
guys?
Utani suddenly felt a piercing headache. Utani closed his eyes and put his right hand up to his temple. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put his other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like the old days when he'd overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. He grit his teeth against the pain and dug his nails into the wall that was holding him up. As he waited for the pain in his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind. Utani-san, are you feeling okay? He heard a voice he'd heard many times before, and felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him.
ああ、
Yeah,
大丈
I'm
夫。
fine.
最近
It's
た
just
まにあるんだ
happened。sometimes lately.
Overwork, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself so hard.
相変わらず心配
You're
性だ
always
な、
such
お
a
前は。
worrier. I'm fine.
大丈夫
Come
だ
in.
よ。さあ、入ってくれ。
He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain, as he let his important guests inside. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them. Or maybe not? It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they'd last met. It only felt long because he wanted to see them so badly. Hmm?
そうだ。せっかく来てもらったの
Oh,
にすま
right.
ん。
It was nice of you
生放送中なん
It
だよ
was。nice of you to come by, but I'm streaming.
While he was out here, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guest. Oh, don't worry about us.
いや、お前
No,
ら
I
相手
can't
に
do that to
そういう
you
わけ
guys.
にもいかないだろ。
ん What's wrong?
いや、な
No,
んでもない
it's。
Nothing. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. That's strange, he told himself, as he pushed down with more force. He cut into its surface, and it made an unpleasant sound he never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go further. Why do I get the feeling he's cutting his own hand? Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm.
Damn it. What's going on with this thing?
He is absolutely cutting his own hand. Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through it.
God damn it.
I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. When did they get that out? There's a trick to cutting it. Oh god. They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. Sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Utani, their voices slightly low. Utani realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone, and lowered his voice as well. Yeah. He grinned and nodded. His guest had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers.
This job's all about predicting trends, so it's perfect for me. I can't lose.
Then why do these streams?
It's hard to say. I guess you could say I'm trying to see how far I can go.
That's right. This power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do.
No one's done this before, so I can't ask anybody about it, you know? So I want to do everything I can by myself. Or it might sound like a show-off.
No, it's wonderful, I think. And done. After he'd smacked it a few times, cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices are lined up neatly on the plate.
Sorry to make you help like that.
It's nothing. Go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished.
Thanks. If you want something from the fridge, grab it. But be quiet.
He's gonna be eating his own fingers, ain't he? Tiny took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late," and "Did he log off?" What should have only been 3 minutes had turned to more than 15. That ain't cheese. Tiny put a bite of the cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly.
So sorry. I bought this cheese on sale and it's just so incredibly hard.
He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being poor and starving. And as he hoped, the comments started to come in. Pasta nuri belongs trash. Proteins. This is why nobody likes sneak. What happened? I'm very worried. This process will end soon. Making me sick. You're trained in Hollywood, I can tell. I can't read the comments or watch this. I can only laugh. Yep. Utani's face took on a confused expression. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake, poor room.
Is something wrong?
He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out towards it. In an instant, his headache was back. It was the same pain as before. No, worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. But the pain in his head was so bad that he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason his right hand wouldn't move. So instead he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. Disgusting. Subscribing. Weirdos. Decency. Jealous. Feel. Creepy. Fake blood is blacker. Freaking me out. He gasped. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of awful magic trick.
What's going on?
He suddenly heard the sound of something wet dripping onto the floor. His eyes reflexively turned toward it. His right arm was gone at the elbow, and the stump was gushing blood. There was a pool of it on the floor, and the sound he heard was the new blood splattering into it. Utani didn't understand what had happened to him. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in what remained of his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping to the floor. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. He was sitting on the plate. At first, it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate in roughly his arm's original shape. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm. But sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. He saw something solid in the middle of it. It was a thumb. It was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid. Horribly, he remembered it. What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned toward the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. As the whole world turned red, Utani didn't even realize his lips were turning purple. His lips had turned purple from lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from his severed thumb, which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious, and tears fell from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. Utani was weeping blood. He died, still facing the camera. His guests watched the chain of events unfold, then silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room, "Goodbye," they said, as if nothing at all was wrong, and shut the door. Jesus. September 19th, 2015. Friday night. That was horrifying. That was terrible. Phew. Who? Takayanagi Momone had finished her concert. Like always, she'd stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before her solo street concert, but she still had to help anyway. She'd always been like that. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school when one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked her for test notes. Or in high school when a girl she knew asked how to make Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. She stayed up so many nights that her own test grades were worse than her friends', and she didn't even have anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility. Not hers, but... Basically, I'm just like each bless. Takayanagi Imamone was, at heart, scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. The concert today was another big success. Sure, it was a tiny room that could only fit in 150 people or so, standing room only. But tickets were 3,000 yen, high for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, and they still sold out instantly. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the ballad, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. This is impossible. She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. They started out in the Nikoniya Sangit category and had kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. Videos of their concerts and performances pulled a decent number of views online. But Takayanagi noticed. The vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try to feel it again. And Takayanagi knew that they probably wouldn't feel even 1% of it. It's just impossible. The ticket prices and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. There has to be something wrong with my voice. When she first realized that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing the live shows where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let that happen. Your voice is amazing, they would tell her. They forced her to keep singing, even as concerts began to terrify her. Takayanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end, she kept giving in. She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain, dull girl like her into music. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. But in the end, Takayanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage she needed to break out of the cycle. She forced herself to get up and head toward the street concert, which she didn't really want to do. She received an email. She read it slowly. No, way. She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. It was nothing special, just a simple message about one of the songs she'd made. Good song. Keep it up. Wait. Takayanagi tried to stop the tears, but couldn't. The band needed too many messages like this to count, especially after concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. But this email address wasn't for her band. It was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded original songs. In other words, whoever sent this message hadn't come to her concerts. They never heard her voice live or felt its strange power. But they'd still said they liked her song. Really? Wiping away the tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. It makes me really happy. Thank you. Even after she sent it, she kept crying for a while. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. And then she stood up. Stupid things. She took her costumes for the day's concert out of her bag, balled them up, and threw them in the trash. It was a white caped outfit worn by some angel character in some anime. Certain fans really loved it, but she didn't care about it at all. She took a wet towel off of a nearby table and finally wiped away her makeup. I think I'm okay with being a scarecrow. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup to look like an anime character again. Never, she said aloud. She realized she was more excited than she'd ever been before. And then she started to realize what she wanted to do. I guess I could just leave Shibuya. I'm sure things are going to get messy here. What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It caused trouble for a lot of people, definitely. Her band was scheduled to play in the Restoration Festival. But even so, she never wanted to sing at another concert. I shouldn't use the street where I've done shows, or my fans will see me. Wait, I'll be fine with this face. She laughed and kissed her smartphone. Oh wow, this is so much fun. She couldn't wait to get home and start fiddling with her music. Over the web, she could really share her music with others. As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. If she just played a recording from a speaker, for example. I've got a small speaker in my house, don't I? That's right. She'd leave Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at a street concert. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes to fool people. It'd be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she'd re-record it at home. Oh no. There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe? Oh, I'm coming. She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd ever imagined it could be. That lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. It's the same repeat. Hi! Coming! Takayanagi happily danced toward the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. Oh no. September 19th, 2015. Friday night. Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp and dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Her bangs were unnaturally long. Most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark-colored dress that seemed to melt into the night, and above it a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms, and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that the night was still warm, she wore gloves, as if it were a sin to show any skin at all. Oh, sorry. She ran into a couple coming out of a hotel and staggered slightly. But she didn't even look at the people she ran into. She looked down and disappeared into the streets of Shibuya. What's that? Man, talk about creepy. Hey, did you see your face? Huh? Why? It was so weird. What was that? Those eyes were so weird. Chapter 1. Digital Native. The Right-Sider chases the cases. Start Chapter 1 achievement. That was just the prologue? Let's say that, for example, you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say yes, or I've heard of it. We'll start by eliminating the DQNs who've said they've never heard of it. Is this going to be our Takumi character? Netslang, Dokyun, used to refer to people who are stupid antisocial delinquents. Anime, blah, 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 lol, laugh out loud. We already know that. I should probably save, shouldn't I? Next you ask, well, what was it? Next we eliminate those poor fools who say it's something about a cat in a box, right? Or that there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? Or maybe they say there's a cat in a box, and next there's a device that may or may not give off poison gas. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead till you open the box. Everybody knows that. We can eliminate those show-offs as well. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. Wrong-sider. Someone on the wrong side of the digital or information divide. Originally, the term referred to those who, for various reasons, found it difficult to make use of the information and communications technologies such as the internet. However, in recent years, it has also come to refer to people who can't properly use the information they do have, or are simply ignorant. The term is often used on internet message boards and other places online in order to insult people who have poor, misguided reasoning or are using information that is considered outdated. Miyashiro uses this term in the latter sense of the word, not the original meaning. So our character's name is Miyashiro. The right answer would be to describe the experiment and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that
A collapse only occurs after human observation. But barely anyone can do that. And I'd imagine that I'm the only guy still in high school who knows that that Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. I hate wrong-siders. I'd taken a break from investigating the 2 incidents that occurred recently in Shibuya and was paging through some ad-channel blog aggregators for a change of pace. As always, articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting tons of hits. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had just happened this month, was already off the front pages. I think I'm going to actually try and keep my Shiro, or whatever his full name is, just probably going to use my normal voice. In September 2015, the largest solar storm in recorded history struck Earth, fictional, causing electronic failures worldwide. The massive damage to the world's infrastructure and the panic that resulted from it in some areas, particularly in North America, became known as the Crash of 15. In this incident, a large hole opened in the Earth's geomagnetic field, leaving Earth defenseless against the incoming solar flare. Since no precautions were taken beforehand, the powerful electric current caused electronics and high-voltage transformers around the world to fail, shutting down the entire electrical grid temporarily. The reconstruction project in Shibuya following the Shibuya earthquake had only just finished its redesign of the city's infrastructure, and while Japan suffered relatively little damage, Shibuya in particular suffered almost none. Interesting. Do the people reading and commenting on these sites realize that everything they read about corporations and idols is carefully controlled? Do they know that most of the big aggregator sites are corporations too? Do they realize that the comments were all manipulated to go one direction or another? Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right at your fingertips. To those of us in the Satori generation, ignorance was the worst sin. A phrase first used on the internet in Japan in 2010s. Although the exact boundaries of this generation are unspecified, it is often used to refer to people born in the 1990s. Members of this generation are said to not want things they don't need, act far more logically, and avoid putting forth any unnecessary effort, hence the descriptor Satori, or enlightened. One cause of this is believed to be that the internet is widely available by the time they were old enough to use it, which exposed them to information about society and the reality of the world at a far earlier point and a far more intricate level than any generations before them. The ignorant were self-righteous, easily manipulated, and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. They were nothing but a nuisance. The worst of the lot was so-called otaku. I couldn't stand otaku. They were the wrong-siders. Take the picture on the cover of this magazine. It was from Bloodtoon. Oh, hey. Bloodtoon, the animation, originally manga, received anime adaptation, 26 episodes total. Oh yeah, I forgot that the Nintendo Direct is playing today as of recording this. A Nintendo Indie Direct, I should say, as of recording this. Oh well. Are you gonna make fun of, Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. There was no point in watching a show if you were going to ignore its deeper themes. I couldn't stand people who still had the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watched anime, but people who ignored a show's themes and just watched for the cuteness were even worse. They were ignoring the implicit social criticism hidden in...
Nani?
What? I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode of previews. The text said that Aaron was missing. 10-year-old female character plays Bloodtoon, Aaron Freya Orgel. Speaks in a haughty, archaic manner and consistently looks down on her younger sister Sarah, main hero in a Bloodtoon. Deadly magical staff known as the Ochimusha Compiler. Nitwit.
Bakaka!
Idiots. Damn it, I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who wrote the original manga. The original author doesn't know anything about his own work. How could you remove Aaron from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant bringing all the internal drama that had been built up so far to a halt. God damn it. So much for my change of pace. I knew I had work to do on the case, but I put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. I thought for a moment, then took my magazine from its secret stash. It was an issue of an older magazine called Cool Cat Press. Alright, answers will shock you. What is this? People call it a dating guide for normies written by someone who never dated a girl in his life, but you'd be surprised. Magic words to make any girl fall in love. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dagger. Stupid. I knew it was stupid. But. Dagger. When I ran an internet search for their #1 phrase, nothing came back. What do you mean? And that was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up on the internet meant to me that I was worth something. What do you... Wait, I accidentally... I know it's extraordinarily selfish of me, but I may fall in love with you. May I fall in love with you? With who? Who? Hi there. Small one. What are you doing? I turned to yell at the voice. Huh? Annoy! When did you get here? I hid my favorite magazine behind my back and tried to calm my racing heart. Even if we know each other since we were kids, just don't just come in here without permission.
I knocked, didn't I? So it's that magazine. Anything interesting?
Anoe Sirica. Anoe Sirica. It's nothing. I couldn't let her find out. This was bad. What's going on? Why are you wearing your school uniform? Didn't you go home? Sirica frowned.
You're the one who told me to go investigate the crime scenes for our club today.
Huh? That's right.
Here you go. More pictures from the crime scene.
So are we actually like playing detective in this game?
Sirica took out a USB memory stick out of her purse. Thanks. Could you transfer it to my computer for me while you're at it? Sirica looked a little confused.
That's rare. You never let anyone touch your computer.
Not really. You're allowed. She didn't seem to think much of it as she started to copy off the data. Okay, now's my chance. The RV was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make a tea as I tried to find room on the top shelf. Okay, there's just enough room for one more magazine. And then I heard a smell like a small fart behind me. Saw that Sirica was using the mouse with one hand and fiddling with her Garo Froggy Garoro strap with the other. This is my chance. The Garo Froggy Garoro strap was a soft vinyl cell phone strap I'd won in a candy contest when I was a kid. When you pushed its belly, it was supposed to go Garoro Garo. Turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at an auction, but since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Sirica as a present. Sirica seemed to really like it, and she carried it with her ever since. Which, well, that was fine, but... You'd be so rich. It was old and faded, and when you pressed its belly, air leaked out of its side and made a weird noise. It used to go Garo, I think, but now it just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Now's my chance to hide it. He's gonna end up making it worse. I jammed the magazine onto the shelf and moved some things so she couldn't see it.
Mountain View
Well, Mountain View?
Nah, don't waste it. I'm leaving in a second anyway. Okay, all done.
There were quite a few files on the screen. Wait, I wanted to see that. You took a lot of pictures. Any luck?
I didn't see anything new. What about you, Taku? Find anything new that connects the two cases?
No. I shook my head, frustrated.
No, I see. Well, let's not get frustrated. I'll see you in the club room tomorrow.
Just as she was about to leave, I got an idea. Oh, no way. Need to double check my information. She was, in theory, don't do this to me. I'm just asking, but...
Huh?
Let's say someone asked you out.
Huh?
Just hypothetically, okay? What would you think if they said, I know this is extremely selfish of me, but I may fall in love with you?
So you were just saying?
Never mind that. What do you think? Sarika thought for a second.
Is this person younger than me?
What do you mean there's a delusion? I don't know.
Eh?
Huh? I don't... Oh, Jesus Christ. Why am I equally scared of the positive and the negative? From what I've heard, I think there's apparently endings... I don't... No. I'm equally scared of both the negative and... screw it. Screw it. Negative. It's true, come to think of it. Why was it so polite anyway? Maybe they are? I mean, never mind that. What do you think?
Well, I think it's really polite, but nobody's ever asked me out, so I don't know.
Anything like, oh, how romantic.
Not really. That would depend on the person, right?
What's going on here, cool cat? It depends on the person asking the question. Of course it would. Didn't get scared and fired a delusion trigger. Wait a sec, Sarika just said it would depend on the person. Sarika and I have known each other for a long time. We've been friends since we were little, and we still spend a lot of time with each other. Which means there's a good chance that she likes me. In other words, if I went for it, I could at least get a kid. No, stop. No. No. No, no, no. I forgot. I forgot how bad this game gets. Or these games get, I should say. This fall, women are waiting for your kid. Share an unbalanced kiss and fall in love. Do whatever it takes to trigger a kiss you. Do whatever it takes to trigger a kiss you. No. Just for a bit white. No. Are you ever confused? Scared? No. 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 Quick. Quick. Quit. I'm scared. No. Mute it. Confused Sarika. Do not show me like that. Just for a bit. Just for a little bit. He who dares wins. And they say kisses are magic. If I guess Sarika makes you fall in love with me. No. You idiot. I felt like I was just grabbing the first girl available. Really wanted to kiss someone. Stop trying to get. I felt a strong shock on my left cheek. My head shook. I was seeing stars. Okay, this is hilarious. This is kind of a hilarious zoom in, so I'm gonna let you guys see this. It might be causing problems. Oh well. Zoom.
You're creepy.
Her words stabbed like daggers in my heart. All the excitement I felt was washed away in an instant. No way. No way.
I can't believe you. You're disgusting. So you think he's so nice enough to hang out with you like you kiss? Hell no.
Ow. Don't kick me.
I don't care if you're sorry. What's your problem? So fucking creepy. God. Okay. Okay.
Turn off the delusion. Now I remember why I get scared of recording for this game. It's because these games do severe psychological damage to me. I mean, like, real severe psychological damage.
Taku, are you pale and shaking all of a sudden?
No, no reason. Forcing her to the bed was basically a crime. Bad idea, yep. No shit, Sherlock. I'm not like your average teenager. If my simulation with Sarika went that badly, trying it with any other girl was sure to end up with me in handcuffs. No shit, Sherlock.
Anyway, Taku, give me 500 yen.
Why the... What?
Eh?
Huh? For what? Hush money? Wait. That was just a simulation. What are you talking about? 500 yen?
Here, I forgot.
She showed me the paper bag she was holding.
I just ran into Gensan. He gave me this. Said it was your usual. I paid him 500 yen for it.
My usual? Confused, I took the bag from her. Genson's usual change every time I talk to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? That trunkle bastard!
As usual.
Nothing. Here's 500 yen.
500円
First 500 yen to her hands. Ignoring your percent questions, I led her to the door.
明日学
I'll
校
see you at school tomorrow.
Huh?
でデータはありが
Thanks
と
for
う
the pictures. They're big help.
たよ。
Fine.
Reluctantly, she left my room. Damn it. Sure, this is what I always bought from Genson. But the information in the last one was no good. What the heck was a cool cat anyway? A cold cat? Is it cold because it's dead? Hey, Shunger's cat. 100 ways to seriously show your... This fucker's hopeless.
じゃない
No. I need to hide this too. But I have so many of them now, I was running out of room for the top shit.
Why are you still taking them?
When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it, no room, huh? What's this? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. It was an old scrapbook about the murders that occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I bought it from Genson, too, come to think of it. I'd already scanned it, but had forgotten to throw it out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have to bundle it up with the rest of my collection. My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it. I quickly ran over to my PC. Oh, we're gonna be like heavily connected with the first with Noah, aren't we? I opened the files on the case I've been looking for.
マジか
Seriously? My words were a whisper. I looked back at the scrapbook, then compared it to the data on the PC. There was no doubt. I kept looking at it, and it kept saying the same thing. But this... If my hypothesis was right,
きっと
I'm sure even the
警
police
察
haven't
も
noticed.
気がついてないぞ
Strange sumo stickers increasing in Shibuya. Beyonce Milgaba. Lately, stickers with the face of a sumo wrestler on them have been appearing around Shibuya. Commonly known as sumo stickers, nobody knows who's putting them up or why. Everything about them is shrouded in mystery. You started seeing them on signs and guardrails all over Shibuya 5 or 6 years ago. There are a lot of other stickers put up by graffiti artists, but Shibuya in particular has a huge number of these sumo stickers. Some have speculated that they're a message from a terrorist group or perhaps a cult, but as of now, they're nothing more than a hypothesis. When asked about the stickers, a 41-year-old man who worked at a Jinan Shibuya hair salon said, "They're creepy. I wish whoever it was would stop destroying Shibuya's landscape." Some residents will take them down only to see them reappear later. Shibuya City Hall says, quote, "We are continuing our community outreach efforts to help stop these stickers from being put up. But also, there are no plans to use city funds to remove the stickers. Police have said that placing these stickers on public property is a misdemeanor, but that it's extremely difficult to prosecute without catching someone in the act of doing so. They have no current plans for dealing with the stickers either. Citizens are going to be stuck with these stickers for a while, it seems." After I first saw one 2 years ago, I've been seeing them everywhere. Feels like there are even more lately. Saw another one today. Another one. These two. What the fuck? What? Wait, hang on. Before we do that, computer, Hachibase, Internet Escape, Recycle Bin, iTunes, Rhine, and shared shortcut, new gen shortcut, after action, element, manager. There was one under the escalator at the Hikari Wo. How the hell did it get one down there? Did this a few years back. Wonder if it's still there. Saw that one too. It's crazy. Here's some more pictures. I always feel sick when I see that face. I once threw up when I saw one of those stickers. Shit sucks. Whoever needs to put them up needs to... Oh. I heard if you scribble on top of one of the on top of one, the sumo wrestler cursed you. Anyone else notice that it's impossible to get the damn things off? Saw my first one today. Stop upping these things, Anon. There's a shit ton of them in if you image search. I actually saw one of these stickers talking once. It was yelling Dosukoi. Time for your meds, Grandpa. Somebody make a Diluode map that lists all their locations. You'll be at it for years. So if you go to Shibuya and get previous stared by sumo wrestlers, right? I don't understand that. You should just put up a bunch of AQ anime girl stickers instead, like Hanona or Seraton. Then all the otaku dorks would move from Akihabara to Shibuya. I vote for Kamiyama Hangetsu. I feel pressure coming from Ryogoku. This is my prophecy onto you. Someday we'll see a sumo judge sticker. True that. At this point, only a few people were talking about the sumo wrestler stickers. Whoops. Who could have known that these eerie stickers would mark the beginning of a world-changing event? Oh boy. And so, this is a magazine article about the incident that occurred on the 7th. 7th, the suicide took place during Nikoniya stream, right? I read that article. We don't know for sure that it was a suicide, though. People on the net are calling it the Don't Look case. And here's the video of the broadcast. I saw it too. Wait, we saw it together. And here's the building it took place in. Onoe took some more photos for me yesterday. I know that too. And this is the inside of the room. Huh? No way, you took this? When? Wait, how? Until then, Ito had been disinterestedly pointing his camera at the colorful decorations in the hallway, but this got his attention. Of course it did. No one else had seen these pictures yet. Last weekend, you can see the room from the 5th floor of the karaoke place on the other side of the street. Seriously? Damn. Here. This is the 5th floor. Huh. You'd always count on him to be interested when it came to new information. So what? You went by yourself? Huh? I mean, you went to the karaoke place by yourself, for karaoke alone. I didn't really have a choice, did I? And it's not embarrassing, and I didn't sing, so it really wasn't karaoke. To be honest, I was a little embarrassed. The guy at the counter, who was probably just a part-timer, had stared at me suspiciously. Maybe I attracted his attention by coming in during the middle of the day in my uniform. And since I'd never been there before, he made me fill out membership paperwork. I didn't know how to do it, so it took a long time. And actually, I'd never been to a karaoke place before in my life. Alright, I got these. Let's go to the next one. This is such a pain. We went over to the gym from the 2nd floor hallway. It was filled with students laughing over who knows what. The whole school was getting ready for the Culture Festival next weekend. This year's festival was supposed to be a big one. Heikiho Academy was the first private high school to build as part of the restoration efforts, and so it was attracting a lot of attention. One reason why everyone was so excited for the school fair was the school's lax rules, with lots of clubs and activities. But the biggest reason was the Shibuya Peace and Restoration Festival 2 months from now. 2 months from now, on November 6th, would mark 6 years since the Shibuya earthquake. The 5-year anniversary of the fair last year had affected the whole town. And since the school was in Shibuya too, it would include us. We were just a simple high school, but now our culture festival was being treated as a prelude to the big one, and supposedly there would be a TV cameras filming the day of the event. Wow, aren't those costumes copyrighted? Can they get away with that? And wait, why are they wearing them now? Ito turned his camera toward a group of people pretending to be pro wrestlers. Ito and I were in the newspaper club, and it was our job to record the festivities. The principal had ordered that all clubs were to participate in the culture festival, and recording the festivities was our way of getting by without having to do much work. Recording videos and taking photos was my hobby, and more than anything, it seemed like the way that would demand I burn the fewest calories. I couldn't see myself participating in any of the usual festival nonsense, like the baseball team's fried baseball ice cream stand, which was probably just regular fried ice cream in a ball, or the pro wrestling research club's mascot pro wrestling, or even the seance the mystery club and fortune telling club were putting on together.
暇なんだろ
They probably just don't have anything better to do.
ちょ、ひ
Hey, don't pull my whiskers! You'll rip them off!
はあこれ
Huh?
触覚
I
じゃ
think
ない
it's
の
these antenna.
どう思うよ
What do you
触
think?
覚
If
だ
they,
としたらもう
if
い
they
た
were
方がゆる
antennas,
キャラっぽ
wouldn't
く
you
ない
look
か
cuter if you ripped them off?
え
Huh?
何
Wait, what? Did I really have to answer such a
その
stupid
くだらな
question?
い質問に答えなきゃダメ
Goddamn normies, go die in a fire.
ただ
Damn.
おい
Hey, don't make fun of normies. I'm a normie too.
僕だ
Huh?
あバカカメラ
Hey, you idiot! The camera! You dropped it! That thing's expensive!
おい
Hey, what do you
どうい
mean?
うことだ
You're hurting me! Wait, the camera!
裏切ったのか
Did you betray me? Did you lose level? When did you get a girlfriend?
彼女なんて
I don't have a girlfriend, but pick up the camera!
彼女なんて
何
What? Help! I slipped out of Ito's grasp and picked up the camera. It looks like it's safe. Good. I relaxed and handed the camera back to Ito. Jeez, get a hold of yourself.
しろよ
Not like them. We're right-siders, you know. Want me to give you a lecture about it?
一石いいか
Listen, the term normie first came into use on the Japanese internet around 2005. It referred to someone whose daily life was fulfilling and
つまり現実が充実
satisfying.
している連最初は対義語として
Originally,
ネ
the
ト中が
term
挙げられることが多かったけど
netizen existed as
そ
an
の境目は
antonym,
もうほ
but
と
that
んど
distinction barely exists
リアルの
anymore.
中
That's
にネッ
because the
ト
net
が
is
組
now
み
an
込まれて
integral
いるの
part
が
of
当たり
everyday
前なん
life.
だからな当初は友達がいるだけで
First
リア
came
充
to
と呼
use,
ばれてい
simply
た
having friends was enough to qualify one as a normie, but gradually this requirement shifted to having a lover, but this too is
だがこ
changing.
れも変わり昨今のリア充
Modern
は
definition of
本当の
normie
意
is
味で
now
現
someone whose
実が
life is
充
truly
実しているか
satisfying.
どう
That
か
is, someone who's
つ
doing
ま
what they
り
really want
や
to
りた
do.
いこ
In
とが
that
でき
sense,
ているか
I
ど
am
う
a
かで
normie.
判断されるんだだから暇に待たせ
Therefore,
て
the
ふざけ
people
ている
over
あい
there
つ
who
ら
are screwing
は
around
リア
wasting
充なん
time
か
aren't
じゃな
normies
い
at
ん
all.
だ
You need to use words
言
correctly.
葉は正しく使え
Seriously, you need to be careful. Just being a wrong-sider by itself is a sin these days. After I finished my lecture, I saw that Ito was staring at me wordlessly. What, did he not understand it? I walked him through the entire etymology.
宮代
Miyashiro,
なんだよ
what?
お前は
You're
リ
not
ア充じゃない
normie.
よ
Let's use words correctly,
言
okay?
葉は正しく使おうな
なぜだ
But why?
リア充は
Normies
そん
don't
なこと
talk
言わ
like
ない
that. He's right.
は
Wait,
だ
why?
から
And, you know, I have acquaintances who are women.
それに
And of
補
course
強
men
するなら
too.
女子の知り合いもいるんだぞだか
I
ら
just told you,
リ
normies
ア充
don't
は
talk
そん
like
なこと
that.
言わないの
理由はなんだ理由は
What's the
さら
reason?
に
It may
付け加える
also
な
add...
ら
I quickly swallow my words.
ファッションの勉
I'm
強
studying
だって
fashion
してい
too.
るんだ
I read that new issue. Thought it looked pretty good. Fuck off. Why? I get worse. No.
ん
What?
なんだ
Nothing. I'm telling
と
you.
にか
I'm...
く僕
ああわかった
Sure, whatever, man. Let's go.
次行こうぜ
As he walked away, I turned my eyes toward the group of mascot pro wrestlers.
わかったじゃあも
Alright
う
then.
全員で
Well, we're
同じ
staying
着ぐるみにしようぜ
あ
Oh, like Sentai Rangers? Beats with the colors up. I'll be yelling.
その方が受け取れるか
love it, but
do we have the budget?
あんたの小遣いが
You
ある
got
じ
your
ゃん
allowance, right?
バカじゃないの
Shove it.
それか
Are we gonna paint the colors on our bodies? It just has to
それ
get
で
last,
それがいいん
right?
でしょ
こっちは忙しいんだ
I'm busy.
おかえりなさいませご
Welcome
主人
back,
様
Master
ケロ
Carolyn.
可愛くなくね
It's not very
もうちょ
cute.
っとどう
Can
に
you
かな
fix
ん
that?
ね
可愛くないとか言う
Don't
な
say that. It's not
てか
cute. And wait,
別
it's
に
not
ウェ
fair
ブレ
that
ス
only
って
a
女
girl
子
that
限定
reaches.
じゃな
The
く
boys
ても
we
いい
reaches
じゃん
is turret
男子
too.
もやんなよ
ゲロカエルンって
Get a
あ
frog,
ん
you
な
really
語尾で
talk
喋
like
る
that?
キャラクターだったっけ
Ito had just finished recording the goings-on in the classroom. Oh, Jesus. Why? Why is this happening here?
どうでもいいよ
It doesn't matter. This was class 3-1. Ito's in my class. Most of the class was busy with the Garo Froggy Cafe we were doing for the festival. Some people were ignoring the fuss and studying. Some of the otaku were reading light novels. Do they really think that if they left the paper cover from the bookstore on, we couldn't tell it was a light novel? I don't know if screw it. I forgot. Fine. Most people are happily making Garo Froggy decorations or putting on Garo Froggy costumes and messing around. All the clubs had to participate in the festival, but so did all the classes. No one had told me, but evidently several months ago we decided to do a Garo Froggy themed cafe.
You tell me Garo Froggy has girls' voice.
いやそうだけどさ
Well, sure, but it's just a culture festival. We're allowed to
そこは文化祭のノ
change
リ
it.
的なあれでいいじゃん
違うって
I'm kind of getting Sorry, I'm looking at something real quick. That's wrong.
Huh?
Huh? Ito tilted his head in confusion. Alright. Let's see what positive looks like.
ねえねえ宮代
Hey, Miyashiro.
このゲロカエルンの着
You
ぐ
think
る
you
み
could
さ
try this Garo Froggy
ちょっと
costume,
着て
Karen?
みてくんないかケロン
Oh, Jesus.
悪いな。俺たち今
Sorry,
忙
we're
しいんだ。
busy.
いや、
Oh, sure, I'll put it on.
は
Hey, thanks, Miyashiro. I mean, I kept thinking that you were the perfect
だって
size.
作ってる時から思ってたん
Oh,
だ
Jesus. I managed to get the costume on without much trouble. Slid the top part of my head and it was pretty hot inside. And since I could barely see anything, it felt really claustrophobic.
どう
How do I look?
うんぴったり
Just perfect.
ち
Try
ょっ
saying
と喋って
something.
み
I'm Garo Froggy Garo.
So cute. I'm gonna have to give you a hug.
ってしてあげる
And I felt something soft pressing against my arm.
ゲロカエルンも私のこと
Tell me
キ
too,
ュ
Garo
ーって
Froggy.
して
Really? Slid my arm around her like she asked me to.
やんお尻
No.
触んないのゲロカエルン
No.
のエッチ
No. And time of my life when
おー
Garo
かわいい
Froggy's done.
私
So
も
cute. I want to hug him too.
あーずるい
Me too. Oh no. Oh no.
だったら私たち全員で
Why don't we all hug him at once?
Oh no.
それいいかもまあいい
It's
か
okay, right, Garo?
Oh god.
じゃあ行くよ
I knew it. This is why I said no.
ゲロカエルン大好き
No. Free me. I thought about telling Ito about this, but knowing what a skirt chaser he was, he might actually take it seriously and really try to put the costume on. It was probably better not to tell him. I don't want to see him sued for sexual harassment. Thank you, Takaru. And decided to get back on topic. I took out my Pokecom and showed it to Ito. Hey, we got Pokemon? Never mind, that's a dead person.
これが今月の19日
So
の
here's the
試験
images from the 19th of this month. Ugh.
音漏れたんか。どれ
Audio bleed, huh? Let me see. I haven't seen this one before. Where'd you get it?
どこで拾っ
事件のまとめウィキ
Show up
に
for
一瞬な
an incident on an aggregator wiki. I scraped it before it could get deleted.
あー、こっちの方
This
が
one's
ア
got
ング
a
ルいい
nicer
な。
angle, right? Hey, let
さっきの
me
カ
up
ラオ
this
ケのやつと合
Niconia
わせ
along
て
with the
ニ
stuff
ヤド
you
にア
took
ップ
from the
させてくれ
karaoke
よ。
box.
もう新聞部
I've
のオ
already
ン
upped
ライン
it
ス
to
ト
the
レージにか
newspaper
けて
clubs to cloud storage.
見やすい
Make
よ
sure
うに加工
make
し
some
て使って
adjustments so
く
it's
れ
easier to see. Then do what you want with it. So this must have been the second person that we saw the dialogue of after the stream person was killed. The one who was like happy about their song being their own song being properly heard. Ugh.
なんか最近再生数
Using
が
it
いま
kind
い
of
ち伸びない
badly.
んだよな。
Last week I upped
この
got
前
tagged
俺
as
一人
the
で作った
cameraman.
動
Do your
画の
damn
タグ
job,
に
and this
も
angle
カメラ仕
sucks.
事しろとかアング
It
ル
looks
大
up
体
really
合ってないとか書かれるし。
Well, that's too damn bad, gamer. Well, I know how I felt. The Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club had been the first in the nation to upload a video version of the school paper to Niconia. Our papers dealt with anything involving Shibuya. We'd done a special on the Shibuya restoration once that a local paper had written about. We won a special prize at the city journalism contest, and the video had received over 80,000 views despite being boring as hell. After that, though, I could understand being upset at the fact that new videos dealing with goings-on in Shibuya weren't breaking 2 digits.
ああ
Oh, I was the one who put that cameraman do your damn job tag on. That angle was crap, man.
ゲットしてきた
Got it.
おお
Ooh,
オリジ
it's
ナルじゃん
original.
I'm so tired. The boyfriend and girlfriend walked in, evidently back from shopping. Their arms are full of Garo Froggy stuffed animals.
だから違う
I told you, that's wrong.
は
Huh?
いえだ
What's
から
wrong?
何がだよ
Ito hadn't noticed then. I looked at my classmates who were already beginning to play with their new toys and said,
前も話し
I've
たこ
told
と
you
あ
this
ったろ
before, right? You can tell an average teenager's information by knowing what sites they go
日
to.
頃アクセスしているサイトで情報レベル
This
が
was a
知れる
personal theory of, oh god. Smartphones and Pokecoms have become a religion to the modern teenager, and the information they gain from these portable terminals had a huge influence on their lives. First off, we got a lot of tips to read. Oh wow, I didn't realize I had that many. Pokecom, tablet-style mobile device with a 7-inch high-definition screen. Its official name is Phone Droid, but it's known colloquially in Japan as Pokecom, despite having nothing to do with the pocket computer that was released in the 1980s. Beginning in 2012, the Pokecom has gotten much more popular worldwide and is expected to someday replace smartphones. Offers multiple applications such as video calling, an internet browser, TV, games, microblogging apps, and a camera. Said that the option to make phone calls will be implemented soon as well. Tag. Cameron, do your damn job. Do your damn job. TLDEW. Epic, wild, funny ending, perfect timing, open my eyes, blah blah blah. Cloud storage, scraping, extracting and saving data from that. Right-sider. Someone on the right side of digital information divide. Riser has the necessary skills and environment to make use of information and communication technology such as the internet, allowing them to quickly find and share and receive high-quality info. Cool kid. It contained a large amount of information about fashion, how to seduce women, and the ideal spots for kisses, all of which of dubious accuracy. It was very popular between late 80s and early 90s, but circulation gradually declined, and in 2004 the magazine shut down. Piss off. The Hekiho Academy, private academy in Utagawacho, Shibuya. Mid-sized academy composed of both middle school and high school, with over 1,000 students in total. Construction was proposed as part of the reconstruction project after the November 2009 Shibuya earthquake, and in April 2012, it was completed. School is small, but is well equipped with brand new state-of-the-art facilities, and the students generally love it. Middle school is located right next to the high school. Sorry, I'm looking at some. Some people only looked at SNS's like Tweepo, Rhine, and FaceMook. Others that not. What did you just say to me? SNS social networking service. FaceMook. That's obviously Facebook. Rhine. An instant messaging application. And Twitter. Tweeps. Some looked at all those sites as well as the links they found there. And then some looked at all those things as well as their favorite celebrity blogs, the big app channel aggregators, and then whatever humor site was popular at the moment. All of these people were wrong-siders. And the scary thing was that these days, 9 out of 10 wrong-siders were teenagers. Garo Froggy launched 6 years ago as a cell phone strap, which got popular for reasons no one ever understood. And then lately, a combination of Garo Froggy memes on Tweepo, as well as an amateur anime posted on Taniko Nia, if I remember right, was it talking, dancing, frog singing anime themes? I created a fad, though I hate to use the word for something so stupid. It amazed me that people honestly believe that the ribbit sounds made by the female actress in those videos were from the original. Or that the original was the stuffed animal that had come out recently and not the phone strap. My guess was that they only got their information from Tweepo.
それに
And a man can't be waitress, he's a waiter. This is one of the reasons I joined the newspaper club. I didn't want to end up like them. Anyway. 宮代君? A girl, evidently the one in charge of the waitresses, was talking to me. Who is she again? Fujita-san? Fujimoto-san? I think there was a Fuji?
何田中
Was
さ
it
ん
Tanaka-san? Tanaka, I was totally wrong.
あのさ、
About
教
the
室で
videos
流
we're going to
す
be
映
playing
像
in
のビデオ撮影のことなんだけどさ、
What's she talking about? Oh, right, they're gonna make their own version of the Nico Nia videos where they wear costumes and dance.
その
So, do you think we could do some close-ups or something instead of just shooting from the same spot the whole time?
What, is she telling me what to do? I didn't volunteer to videotape it. You guys forced me. Well, it's better than being told to dance or make props myself. Well... You see... You don't want to fix... You want us to move around?
Fix? I don't know what you mean.
Neither do I. What does that mean? First act of fixing a camera in a single place and recording without moving it. Oh. Oh, we can do it. We can do close-ups or whatever.
Really? Great. I'll write how we want you to do it and give it to you before shoot.
And then she fled. That surprised me. Don't scare me like that. I'm so nervous I was sweating a little. Ito looked at me inside. What? There's no way you're normie, man. What? You freak out whenever you're talking to someone new. To be fair, I do that too. I freak out. I just have social anxiety, okay? I get afraid. Very easily. I can't help it. She came out of nowhere. What's more, I made it a policy not to talk to anyone unless it was necessary. This was the first time in quite a while I'd spoken to any of my classmates but Ito. How'd it go?
Just bragging about something, you know? Fix or something?
What, more technobabble? They already started to spread meaningless information. Stop it. Hearing whispers about me in the classroom brought back bad memories. I'm starting to have a hard time breathing.
What?
Hey, you okay? I must have looked like I was in pain because Ito was looking at me with concern on his face. I quickly nodded to show that I was fine. You want to talk about behind someone's back? Do it where they can't hear you. And it's not bragging or technobabble. It doesn't bother me. Fujita-san is... Who's that? Oh, Tanaka-san is just alongside her. That's right. It wasn't worth worrying about. She was just ignorant. Ida looked over at our classmates who were having fun. Jeez, they're obdurate as hell. Obdurate? Yeah, I don't know either. Uh-oh. What did that mean again? I know I'd heard it before. I ran a search on my Pokecom, making sure not to let Ito see. Obdurate, stubbornly refusing to change out of a lack of pity or remorse. Ruthless. Got it. That's right. I think that's exactly the right word. They have no remorse at all. You got that right. Ito nodded, annoyed. Good. Looks like you didn't find out. Does the otaku at the bottom of the social hierarchy always have to give the people above us something to talk about? Hold it. School's social hierarchy wasn't something I cared about, but... Hey, I'm not an otaku. Not this again. What do you mean again? I don't like it when people are wrong. Do you want... No, I do not want to lecture. The definition of the word otaku is changing, and the negative connotations it originally... Takaru makes me laugh already. You're wrong. This is what it means. It goes into the deepest explanation about a word's existence. Even now in 2015, it still mostly serves to denote those obsessed with anime, light novels, video games, and idols. I thought I saw a boy reading a light novel turn toward me, but I didn't care. I don't watch stupid anime or read stupid light novels. It's a waste of time. Weren't you going on about how great some new anime was? What was it? Webtoon? Damn, he got you. I said I don't watch stupid anime. It's no different than people who ignore quality movies like The Double Life of Veronica or It's My Wonderful Life and just watch the same stuff over and over again. And then they say anyone who hasn't seen this show is a casual. I get it. Or people who lie about having read books like Transmutation City or The Fiends and just read light novels all day. The world of otaku refers to people like that who only bother to absorb information about such they enjoy. Camera otaku always seemed like a bunch of weirdos to me.
別に人様に迷惑
As long
か
as
け
they're
な
not
ければいい
bothering
んじゃん。
anyone, who cares?
Skin
I'm a
on the
Johnny talking myself.
うちだってじゃ。
Stop it, please. More than anything, I don't want to be the same as you people. And then the door to the classroom flew open. Oh dear. Why is this a choice? You know what? Screw it. I want drama. She must have been in a hurry because she was a little out of breath. She brushed her long hair out of her eyes and was about to come inside.
ノーノー、どうしたの？
No, what's up?
おお、上帝。
Oh, Empress, perfect
ちょう
timing.
どよかった。
The whole class started talking to her.
ち
Hello.
ょっと。
Hold on.
She's about to say something when her foot caught on one of those cables running across the room. Is this gonna kill her? This is gonna kill her, isn't it? Please don't do this. Watch out! Move quickly. She staggered forward, but I reached out my hand to keep her from falling. Ow. I felt powerful impact at the top of my skull as I slammed to the ground. My vision went black. I was about to pass out. What the heck just happened?
説明しよう。
Let me explain. The Empress lost her balance. For some reason, she regained by jumping. Momentum caused her bucket. As a result, she landed a perfect flying roundhouse kick to my Miyashiro loses the bout by TKO. What? Given that was just one possibility, I probably should... What do you mean? She becomes freaking fighting game character and just beats shit out of Takaru on accident. She almost tripped, but managed to keep her balance. You good? She smiled a bit and took a deep breath. All the students around her, boys and girls alike, began to move. They surrounded her as if they were welcoming a long-lost family member.
ちょっと誰？
Hey, put this cable
こん
here.
なと
That's
ころにケ
dangerous.
ーブルをき。ノノ、ごめんね。
I'm so sorry.
女帝、大丈夫か？
Empress, you okay?
ええ、
Yeah,
気にしないで。
don't worry about me.
Why are you calling her Empress? She answered them with a smile. I felt like our eyes met. I looked away without thinking. Kurusu Nono, the first student council president of Hekiho Academy.
あのさ、うちの
Hey,
喫茶
so
で
for our
キッチ
cafe,
ン
we
の
got
後
the kitchen and then the
そ
other
れ以外
part.
のこ
What
っ
do
ち
you call
の
it? Where the customers sit?
なんての、お客さんスペース
Kurusu
ってか
smiled a little as she spoke.
ホール側？
You mean the hall?
そうそう、ホールだ。
Yeah, the
そ
hall.
のさ、
Did Mr. Wacky
間を仕
adjust
切
the
る
number
暗
of
幕の
curtains
数
we
の
got
調
to
整って
partition the two?
ワックンしてくれた？
調整？
Just
涌
did
井先生
Mr.
が増田君にそう言った
Wakui
の？
say he was going to do that, Masuda-kun?
え、
Huh?
聞いてな
You
い？
didn't know.
ええ。
Nope, which means he definitely
言う
didn't
こ
do
と
it.
は
Fine,
絶対や
I'll
って
talk
な
to
いでし
him.
ょうね。
大丈夫？
You sure? The teachers seem to have their eye on you, Empress.
先
Actually,
生
they
たち
seem
から
scared
目
of
つ
you.
けられてんじゃん。
生徒会長なんて
The student council
生徒
president's
側か
job
ら
is to make
学
sure
校
the
側
teachers'
に
lives
無理
are
難題を押し付けるためにいるものでし
make
ょ？
the teachers' lives difficult for the benefit of students.
なけなし
Don't
の
worry,
権力
I'll
を
use a
振り
little
かざ
power
すから。
gun.
あ
Masuda-kun,
と増田
Masuda-kun,
君、
so call
女
me
帝は
Empress.
やめて。
ほほ、サン
Thanks,
キュー
Empress.
女帝。
あなたね。
Now listen, you.
Most of the boys in the class called Kurusu Empress as a joke. She got the name after becoming a hero to her fellow students through gallant deeds like putting an end to the principal's endless homeroom speeches. Not to mention bringing more types of bread to the school store. Bread.
ノーノー、
Thanks for
着ぐるみあり
costume,
がとね
Nono. Thanks for your costume, Nono. It's a perfect fit.
田中。
Tanaka,
そ
when
れ
I wore
私
that,
が
I
試
couldn't
着
get
し
the
た
zipper all the way
時
up.
最後までファス。あ、
Oh, should I keep my mouth shut?
地雷？呼び込み
I
禁
can't
止
stop
に
you
す
guys
る
from
か
doing
ら
any
ね。
advertising, you know.
あー
I'm sorry, it was a joke.
そう
You're
そ
just
う
fine.
ピ
I
チ
mean,
ピチだか
you
ら
probably got sucking.
これは割と
Stop it.
冗談。
It was a joke.
期待して
I'm
るから
counting on you, okay? Yep,
笑い
lots of
取って
laughs.
よ。
She sure was popular. She even knew the names of students in our classes. The top of the school's social hierarchy. That was the first phrase that came to mind. And then...
タクル、
Takaru, we
話
need
があ
to
る
talk.
の。
Can you come with
ちょっ
me?
と来てくれる？
Kurusu walked all the way over to me and Ito. Her expression was so kind, it seemed like she had to be putting on some kind of act. I could see that all the people who'd been surrounding her were staring at me.
女帝
This is
カメ
Andrew's
ラコリ
one.
何
Oh,
の
the
用
camera
だ
kids. They friends?
友達
知らないの？
What? You know?
な
No
の
one's...
だ。
はあマジで
Seriously? I ignore my classmates' whispers and focus on Kurusu. Her smile seemed fake, as if it had been plastered onto her face. Whenever she smiled like that, it meant she wasn't in a good mood.
今はごめん
Sorry, I can't now. I just figured out something about the case.
そ
I'm
れを
putting
ま
it
とめ
together
てる
now.
最中なんだ
うん。
生徒会文化祭
Student
の準
council's
備
really
が
busy
佳境
with
だ
the
ね
culture festival right now.
Dakara,
You know,
クルスが
someone
落
just
ち着い
calm
た
down, Kurusu? Her cheeks twitched a little. Crap. Kurusu didn't like it when I called her by her last name.
ちょっと。
Can you come with me to the club room real quick? Ah, shit. I sense a dark aura forming around her, hardly befitting a so-called empress.
来てくれる？
Can you? She's so close to me.
行こう
Let's go to the club room. That's cool with you, Miyashiro.
ああ宮代
Ito couldn't handle the terror. It didn't look like I could talk my way out of this one. Seeing no other choice, I nodded and stood up. Ah, hell.
クルス
Kurusu!
クルス
Kurusu, you got a sec?
グラウンドに出す
Is
屋
this
台
about
の
the
コン
port
ロ
where
の
we'll
数で
sell
しょ？
all the food stalls in the
やっ
field?
ぱり一つ
We
の屋
say
台
that
に
every
つき
stall
一
gets
つで
one.
統一する。
Huh?
いや
But that's-
それは
Okay.
悪いけど例外は
Sorry,
なし。
no exceptions. I spoke to
校
the
長に掛け合
principal,
った
but
け
I
ど
couldn't get
ダ
him
メ
to
だっ
change
た
his
から。
mind. If any
人
of the
数
bigger
が多
groups
く
are
て
still
不安があ
set,
るところ
go,
は
I'll go talk to them
私が
myself.
後で直接説明に。
了解
Roger.
いやじゃな
Hey,
くて
wait, why
なんでも
aren't
しも
you
離れて
where you're supposed to be?
クルス
Kurusu,
だから
I told you if
忙
we're
しかっ
busy,
た
we
ら
could do this
落
later.
ち着いたらでいいって
もう終わったから。
I'm done. Sorry. Kawahara.
ごめんね、川原
I'm
君。
in a hurry
急
right
ぎなの。
now.
Her tone was gentle but brooked no argument. As she hurried to the club room. Oh, jeez, why are you staring at me now?
宮代
Mishiro,
Mata
you
omae
again.
ka.
What'd you do this time?
今度は何したんだ
I'm about to die, is what it is, gamer. Kawahara-kun cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council.
いやいい言わなく
No,
て
you
も分
don't
かって
need to tell me. You were pretending to be a
また
reporter
例のくだら
again,
ない記
right?
者ごっこだろ
Was it detective?
それとも
I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurusu was spending time with me.
Be-
It's not,
別に 何
What?
it's not any of your
川原君に
business,
迷惑
I
は
think.
かけてかかってるんだよ
It is my business. When you take up
Kurusuの時間が
Kurusu's
下がれ
time,
る
you
と
got trouble from me and the
同
rest of
じ
the
生
student
徒会の
council.
俺たち全員
Oh dear.
うるさいな
Shut up.
なんだって
What? Did you
今
just tell
う
me
る
to
さいって
shut
言ったの
up?
か
You must have heard that because it came storming up to me. He tried to grab me by the collar, but I knocked his hand away. Instead, I grabbed his head and put it under my arm.
おい
Hey, let me go!
I grabbed his belt and lifted him up off the ground.
おブレーンバスターか
Drop straight down, Miyashiro.
やめなさい。危
Stop.
ないでしょ
That's dangerous.
I raised Kawahara-kun up above my head and then stood there, unmoving for a moment. Just when I was deciding whether to drop him or put him down,
おい下ろせ
Put me down!
he flailed his legs out towards the ceiling and tried to escape. The man didn't know when to give up. I could do a lot worse than just drop you now. I shifted Kawahara-kun around in my arms and quickly moved into a position for a pile driver. Then I dropped to the ground butt first and slammed his head into the floor.
Steiner screwdriver!
I heard an awful crunching sound. His skull must have fractured. But just before I dropped him, I let him let go a little so it didn't hit him as hard as it could have. If I hadn't, he would be dead right now.
タクル。
Takaru, that's
Yari
going too
sugi.
far.
Chris's face was expressionless.
警察に通
I'm
報す
calling
る
the
わ。
police.
僕が悪い
Don't
んじゃ
blame
な
me.
い
Blame
僕を苛立たせ
Kawahara-kun
た
for pissing
川
me
原
off.
君が悪い
そんな理由で人
You
生
ruined
を
your whole
棒
life
に
over
振った
something
の。
like this. I
あ
didn't
な
realize
た
you
が
were so
そんなに愚
stupid.
かだったなんて知らなかった。
I watched in a daze as Kurusu called the police. Kawahara-kun had passed out, little bubbles of foam forming around his mouth. The teachers that had heard the noise had started to gather around me. I guess I'm going to have to drop out of school.
Yeah, that's what would happen. I could beat the stuffing out of Carhartt right now if I want to, but that would just get me in trouble. I didn't want to ruin my life over something like that. So I decided to just not say anything to him.
お前
Sir, you skipped most
Sure,
elementary
Judo,
school,
Stoko
elementary middle school. Is that true? I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got high, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurusu. She quickly shook her head.
川原くん
Karkun, I'm really in a hurry right now. But he kept on staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. There was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turn away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the clubroom. It wasn't me, okay? The second the three of us were alone in the clubroom, her expression changed. The smile plastered on the student council president's face disappeared. This was who she really was.
何が
What wasn't.
川原くんが言って
What
たこと
Harkun was saying, I
私
didn't
が
tell
彼
him,
に言ったわ
okay?
けじゃないから。
別に
It didn't bother me.
気にしてないよ
嘘
You're lying. Really, it didn't. Everything about me was different than it used to be. So, what is it? Did you want to talk about something with Vice President of the newspaper club? Kurusu sighed and changed the subject. Takaru, are you eating
あな
right?
たちゃん
You
と
look
ご
like
飯
you
食べ
lost
てる
weight.
の
Huh?
少し痩せたんじゃない
Where was this coming from?
これからどんどん
It's
寒く
going
な
to
って
start
くる
getting
で
colder
しょ
soon, you know? Can you
住ん
keep
で
warm
る
in
と
the
ころ
place
の
you're
防
living
寒
in?
対策とかちゃんとしてるんでしょうね
Crap, she's in nag mode.
進路調
And
査
I hear you told the
結
teachers
局
you were
就
going to get a
職で
job
提
after
出したんです
graduation.
って
I told you
進学で
I
提
told
出
you
し
to
なさ
say
いって
you
言
were going
っ
to
たの
college.
に
It's not like you aren't
勉強
smart
でき
enough.
ないわけじゃないの確かに今からだと
I know
厳
it's
しい
going
け
to
ど
be hard for you to start now,
受
but
験な
I
ら
told you
私が
before that
面
I
倒
can
見る
help.
ってこれ
調べた
Did you go around asking the teachers?
というよ
Wait,
り
is that what you wanted to talk about?
話って
どうなの
Well,
ち
are
ゃ
you
んと
eating
食べて
right?
るの
食べ
I'm
てる
eating
よ
just fine. Everything's
大
just
丈夫だっ
fine.
て
I raised my hand to bring the conversation to a close. I didn't want this to end the way it used to, with a 6-hour lecture about how every aspect of my life was wrong, followed by hard labor as my punishment. Kurusu looked like she still had a lot more to say, but a moment later...
あなた
You skipped school last
先
Friday,
週の
didn't
金
you?
曜日学校サボったでしょ
Oh, so that's what all this is about.
サボったよ
Yeah, I did. Is that a
別に問
problem?
題ないだろ
あるに決ま
Of
って
course
るで
it's a
しょ
problem. Where were you?
どこでなストレージにアッ
You
プ
were
した
out
画
taking
像
those photos you up to the
あれを
storage
取りに行
folder,
ってたん
weren't
じゃ
you?
ないの
Damn it, I figured that would be it. She was right. The pictures I'd taken from the karaoke box were from last Friday when I skipped school. I started staking out the place early that morning and waited for the manager of the condo building to open the curtains.
苦労したんだ
It was a lot of work, but thanks to that, I was able to get photos of the
警
crime
察
scene
以
that
外
nobody
まだ
else
誰
has
も見て
except
ない
the
現場の
police.
画像を撮れた
こういう事件
I
ばか
told
り
you
追い
before
か
that
け
you
る
need
の
to
を
stop
やめ
spending
な
all
さい
your
って
time on this stuff.
前から言ってる
Kurusu was the vice president of the newspaper club, and had been opposed to Ito's and my journalistic ethos for a long time. We spent most of our time investigating crimes in Shibuya. Stuff like the attacks on the homeless people that had been flooding the city ever since the earthquake. And urban legends about a company involved in the rebuilding who put up tons of security cameras all around the city. And a serial arson case where the culprit had never been caught. And now these strange deaths. For her part, Kurusu said that a student paper shouldn't be investigating crimes. She wrote normal, sincere articles and made normal, sincere videos. The video about the Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize had been mostly her work. Takaru, you've been acting really strange this
今
time.
回あなた
You
お
never
かしい
skipped school to do this
学
stuff
校を
before,
サボっ
have
てま
you?
で事件を追うなんて
That's
今
true.
までなかったでしょ
But the reason why was obvious, right? I was lucky enough to have this huge mystery right in front of me.
今回に関しては
This is
学校
worth
を
skipping
サボるの
school
もしょ
for.
うがないよ
なぜ
Why?
だって
Because it's the
新聞部を
first big
立ち
thing
上
that's
げて
happened
から
in
初
Shibuya
めて
since
起
we
こった
started a newspaper club.
渋谷でも
This is a
大きな
huge
事件
scoop.
じゃないかこんな美味しい
おいしい
Scoop. That face was bad news. It was scary.
It was right next to me, so I grabbed him and held him tight. Be my shield, bro.
おい、盾に
Don't use me as a shield. Wait, am I a shield? Why is your face so scary?
副部長何
A
美味しい
huge
です
scoop.
って
People are dead.
人が
And
死
to
ん
you
で
it's
る
just a
って
huge
言
scoop.
うのに
違います
No, no, I'm sorry.
すいません
Stay away from me. I really can't handle this.
押すな
Don't push me. Wait, you really are using me as a shield.
やばいやばい
Crap, crap. That face was seriously bad news. The Empress was scary enough that she could send a demon running in terror. Never even met a demon either. That's just how scary she was. Oh, hell no.
もう一度
Can
言
you
ってく
repeat
れ
that?
る
Once tell me again how all
よ
these
り
deaths
によ
are
っ
just
て
a
あ
huge
な
scoop
た
for you?
が人が死んで
Oh,
美味し
shit.
いです
I need to find some way to stop her. What? And then I felt the wind rush by my ears. Huh? Alfred. Let's, just in case, you know? And at the worst possible time, the wind blew through the room. Caruso didn't even have time to hold down her skirt. Caruso?
Okay, here comes my sir. I've got...
My eyes were locked with Caruso's as I heard the sounds from the open window. I didn't even realize it was open until then. There was a tennis court on top of the special use building. That was probably the tennis team out there. Did she just leave? I think she just left. I need to say something. Was I what was I supposed to tell her I hadn't seen anything? Vice President. Drama.
白
Wait,
なんですね
You're about to die, Ito.
イメージ通りとい
You're
うか
about to fucking die, Ito. Idiot, are you trying to get yourself killed?
私の下着
Does it
の
really
色
matter
が
what color
何
under
色
her is
か
right now, asshole?
今関
It's just a sudden noise. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then I realized, I was sure that the sound of Caruso kicking the wall or maybe the sound of her murdering Ito. But I was wrong. It's coming from deeper inside the room. What? Ah, what the? Who are
あ
you?
の子は
That girl.
まったく
Sheesh.
Wait, you're playing. Wait, you're playing freaking what was it called from Chaos Head Noah? Damn it, I can't remember. It's the same game that Takumi was always playing.
和樹来てたの
Kazuki, are you here?
和樹
Kazuki! Oh, she's got her headphones
そうか
on.
ヘッドホン
Hi. Lollipop. Caruso sighed and pulled out the headphones that Kazuki always wore.
円数2でイ
I
ラ
told
つ
you
いたか
before,
らって
stop hitting the wall every time something goes wrong in
壁を殴るのはやめなさい
ESO2. ESO,
何
that's
度も言ってる
right.
でしょ
ESO. It's ESO2 though. What happened to ESO1? The sequel's the MMORPG that once boasted the highest player count in all of Japan. Like its predecessor, games were well received. Moved over to ESO2. The inability to transfer character data from the first game has caused a small number of veteran users to remain on the original ESO. The game takes place in the medieval Europe-inspired fantasy world of base lore, where countless adventures are just waiting to unfold.
うん壁へこんでるじゃ
Look,
ないもう
you're making a dent.
Kazuki Hana. The only first-year student in the newspaper club. Forget her. This was my chance. I'm getting out of here. As Caruso was rubbing the red marks on Kazuki's hand, I said,
とにかく僕は
Anyway, I'm
事
gonna
件
keep
を
pursuing this case. I found
発見
a
があったんだ
clue, and it might be a
も
big
しか
one.
したら大きな手がかりになる
Caruso glared at me for a moment, but...
おお
Wow, really? Oh, okay, I'll get ready right away. Tell me what about it. I can't
聞かせ
wait.
てくれ
Ito hurried over to the club's computer, desperate for any chance to escape his doom. I stared back at Caruso for a moment and then
PC 立ち上げて
boot up the computer
ス
and
トレ
print
ー
out
ジ
the
の画
images
像
in the
プリン
storage
トアウ
folder.
トしてくれ
Roger! Ito's voice was louder than it needed to be as he turned on the computer. No more punching the wall, okay? Maybe she took pity on poor Ito because she didn't say anything else, but she still crossed her arms and glared at us as she leaned against the wall. It looks like she was at least going to hear me out. Or maybe this is her way of making sure I didn't escape. You owe me lunch later. Why? I don't want to. For using me as a goddamn shield. This was 100% your fault to begin with. I'm sorry, but you were lucky. She get violent. Huh? Violent? Vice President? I nodded. Caruso was the girl that everyone looked up to, but she was actually very short-tempered. It would take me more than 5 fingers, but less than 10 to count the number of times she slapped me hard. When I told him that... Are you serious? Are really teenage girls that do that stuff? That's one step short of a closet dominatrix or just a total crazy bitch.
Has no one ever told you that if you want to talk behind someone's back, you should do it where they can't hear you?
The nearly crazy bitch didn't even bother looking at us as she spoke.
Oh, we just said that to someone, though, in the classroom.
I see.
And then she fell silent. She was scary as hell. Someone's about to die in this classroom, and it's probably about to be Ito. I felt like if I moved, she'd kill me.
You're buying it. It's settled. Supersized and with dessert, too. No objections. That was 50% your fault. Actually, it was 100% Ito's fault for not keeping his mouth shut. Hey. What? Did you see it? You saw her. You're not helping your case, gamer. I didn't. Stop it. That was a lie. No. That was a Caruso out of the corner of my eye. Guess I really was just what you expect. Still only got... If I burn the image in my brain now, maybe the next time something like this happened, I'd be able to react more quickly. So what do you mean react more quickly? I react as a right-sider should. What the fuck does that mean? When panic over something as insignificant. In situations that is quickly you stay calm. And do what? When she heard Ito turn on the printer, Kazuki trotted over like she usually did. That online game addict had the best computer skills of anyone in the club. You know what? Let's do positive. I feel like I'm gonna regret this choice, but... Whenever she was around, it was her job to run searches and organize the information on the PC, but...
Kazuki,
we don't need you for this. I don't consider this part of our club activities.
Kazuki gave us a questioning look. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kazuki just said, like she always did, and walked away. Screw it. Happy time.
See, Kazuki? Your hand's still red. I'll rub it some more for you.
Kazuki obediently walked towards Kurusu. What is happening? Like a mother would.
That must have hurt, right? Why would you do something like that? Well, does it still hurt? Ping, ping, go away. What's wrong? Did you just hug me like that? Why'd you just hug me like that?
She do not speak.
Spoiled little girl. Are you lonely because I haven't been able to come to the club for a while?
What is happening? Answer me. No.
Must have been lonely, right?
This girl does not speak. Say something, damn it.
Sorry for making you feel lonely, but don't worry. I'll stay with you for the whole time today. I'm happy I get to be with you too. Is your hand sore? It does? And I'll use my special charm.
Kazuki watched with a look of ecstasy in her eyes as Kurusu softly kissed her. Felt like I was seeing something I shouldn't, so I looked away.
和樹の指
What is happening?
おい
Hey, what are you
何
spacing
ぼ
out
んやりし
for?
てるんだ
I don't know, gamer.
宮代
Mishiro?
いや別に
No, nothing.
うん
I chased a stupid idea out of my mind. Kurusu was nice to everyone, even girls like Kazuki who couldn't communicate with others. Remember to clean up. Of course, in reality, Kurusu and Kazuki had never done anything like that, and they never would. Kazuki put her headphones on and went back to the corner of the room. She started slamming keys again. I never did know how to talk to her. Actually, it felt like it had been forever since I'd ever spoken to her. If you could even call that a conversation, that is. She'd been part of the newspaper club for 6 months, and all I knew about her was that she liked games, knew a lot about computers, and hated talking. In the end, Ito printed out the pictures, so I took them and went in front of the bulletin board, or before Kurusu changed her mind. If Kurusu was going to listen, it was probably better to start at the beginning. Alright, let's start. She didn't seem interested in the cases, but if I ignored her and made her even madder, even using Ito as a shield wouldn't be enough to save me.
今
There are two cases we're looking at right now. The first occurred on the 7th of
ま
this
ず
month,
一つ目は
during a Nikonia
今
live
月
stream.
の
It
7
was a
日に
public
起きた
suicide called
ニコ
Don't
ニア
Look
生放
Case.
送公開自殺場所はここ
It happened here, in Jinan.
事件の内容は
Just
名
like
前
you
の
probably
通り
guessed, a man killed himself
ニコニア
without
動画で生
a
放
warning
送して
during
い
a
た男
Nikonia
が
live stream.
放送厳密に言うと
Strictly
完全
speaking,
に
we
自
don't know
殺と
for
決
sure
まっ
that's
た
a
わけじゃない
suicide,
んだ
but it
け
sure
ど
looks like one.
死んだ名前は大谷
The
優
dead
馬
man's name is Utani Yuma, age 21. He was a live streamer who got quite a lot of views with some kind of fortune-telling program called Today I
預言者
Learned
もど
I
き
Can
みた
See
い
the
な放送
Future.
を定期的にでその状況だけ
So
ど
here's how it went down. First, Utani gave the audience some time to ask questions.
コメン
He
トを
let the
設
cameras
ける
field
時
of
間を
view.
取ってその後
After
ドアがノッ
that,
クされ
there
て
was the sound of someone
誰か
knocking
が
at
来
the
たらしい
door.
音
It was
を
faint, but the
わ
mic
ずかだ
picked
け
it
ど
up.
マイクが
There were also
拾っ
some
て
voices, but you can't make them
聞き取れ
out.
ないけどそしてカメラ
And when
前
he
に
came
戻って
back
く
in
る
front of the camera, half his right arm was missing. It was chopped up into tiny bits and
細
sitting
か
on
く
top
切
of the
断さ
plate
れ
he was
て
carrying.
自分そしてその
Then
指
he
を自
started
分
eating
で
his
食
own
べた
fingers, like he wasn't feeling any
ま
pain
る
at
で
all.
痛みを感じ
Damn. This sounds exactly like how those devices back in Noah worked, where they alter your cognition. Kurusu's expression changed a little. She probably hadn't known that. The suicide had been big news, even on TV, so she'd probably seen it there, but the details had been so horrific that the news didn't mention them. Those details could be found anywhere on the internet. It's only a matter of time before someone started putting it all together. The video itself had even started to get ground.
そして
Then, after a
少し経
moment,
って
he
から
started
いきな
screaming
り苦し
pain,
み出して死亡した
and then he died. Evidently, the viewers
見て
thought
い
it
た
was some
人
kind
は
of gag or
事
something
件
at
として
first.
発覚するまで
出血性ショック死な
Hypovolemic
警察の
shock.
発表で
When
も
the
そう
body
なってた
loses
し
too much blood, the
混
heart
沌するま
stops
での
working
時間を考
properly.
えても間違
That's
い
what
な
it said
い
in the police report, and given the time until he collapsed, it's almost certainly right. Ito added. Ito knew more about this stuff than I did. He was a fan of bizarre murders, and he'd read 10 times as many killer diaries and non-fiction crime books as I had.
何らかの理由で精神が錯乱
The
し
most
た上
likely
での
theory
自
is that
殺
he experienced some kind of mental disorder before the suicide, but the police are
警察
supposedly
は自
looking
殺
for
の
whoever
直前
visited
に
the
部屋
room
を訪
first.
ねてきたもしかしたら
He
自殺
might be
ほう助や
responsible for
自
aiding
殺
or
教唆
abetting
の
the
疑いがあるんじゃ
suicide.
ないかって
In Japan, if you saw someone trying to kill themselves and didn't intervene, it wasn't a crime unless the police could prove you wanted them to die. But aiding in a suicide or encouraging someone to commit suicide was illegal. That meant that the police were probably looking for whoever met Utani just for his death. Kurusu was silent, but she was looking at the board and seemed to be listening. It seemed safe. On then to the next case, then. Alright.
2つ目は
Second, the case that occurred on the 19th. It got its name audio bleed from the condition the body was
踊れ
found
た
in.
っていう
This is
通
the
称
one
が
that
つ
we
いてる
only got to kind of see like half of what happened. Like we saw the start of it and we saw them have that knock on the door. But
場所はここ
it happened
深セン
here in Shinsen.
名前は高
The
柳
girl's
桃
name
で
was Takayanagi
ニ
Mamone,
コニアの歌
age
ってみたの
20.
歌い手
She
で
was a
最
singer
近
on
ネットで有名
Nikonia.
になってきて
She'd
る
been getting really
アニ
famous
メ
online
ソング
singing
のコ
anime
ピーバン
theme
ドのボー
songs.
カル復興祭のステー
She
ジ
was
で
going
歌う
to
こと
sing
に
at
決
the
まってる
Restoration Festival too.
On every day when it wasn't raining, she'd always go to the same place at the same time and put on a performance in her fancy band costume. That day, she started her concert pretty late. But something was wrong. Her voice was small and it didn't sound like it usually did. And then, in the middle of the concert, she died. Blood loss here too. She'd been stabbed in the stomach before she started the concert. Jesus. What's strange was the condition the body was found in. Ito, play the video. Sure thing. Ito tapped a few keys on the computer's keyboard. And a moment later... Is this really happening? She's dead. She's really dead. Call an ambulance. Kurusu looked confused when she heard the sound. Yeah, what was that? Evidently she wasn't able to make it out. Oh, not that. Oh, not that one. The one Shibuya News upped with the enhanced audio. Oh, that one. Yeah. This is really happening. She's dead. She's really dead. Call an ambulance.
Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
Was there a speaker in her? Her expression changed. She must have been able to hear it this time. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. According to the regulars, that's how she would begin every performance. She's a Nikonia user after all. Lately, people have been saying she's the best singer around. Kurusu seemed to be ignoring me and Ito. She was staring at the computer screen that was the source of the sound.
What was that? What was that?
The screams are from the audience members who had discovered the body. One of them was recording a video, and that last part was in Takayanagi-san's voice. It was from a miniature speaker embedded in her stomach.
Jesus.
A speaker in her stomach that was just repeating the thing she says at the beginning of every concert. Kurusu seemed confused, so Ito interjected. In other words, the whole concert that day had been pre-recorded. Evidence found later indicated that she'd slit her own stomach with a utility knife she got at a convenience store and stuck a Bluetooth speaker inside. She closed the wound up with duct tape, not that it actually did much good. Then she used her clothes in the outfit to hide the wound and started her performance. At first, she played the guitar along with the sound of her recorded voice, but after a while she just stopped playing. That was when she leaned forward and didn't get back up. So she was probably already dead then. But while the audience thought it was strange, they kept listening. Either the blood from her wounds broke the portable music player in her pocket, or maybe it was supposed to be this way from the start. But until that same line you just heard played over and over, no one realized that she was dead. That's horrifying. Kurusu's face was a mixture of confusion and discomfort. Of course it was. She'd never heard of something like this before. I couldn't hold back my excitement. See? Amazing, right? Instead of agreeing, Kurusu's brow furrowed. She probably didn't realize it, but she wrapped her arms around herself. What was wrong? Was it a little too creepy? And? All we've done so far is go over what we know. What's your discovery? Oh, yeah, he's right. I used a computer to print out a series of pictures. Obviously, we don't know what the motive behind these two killings are. The one suspect we got is whoever visited Utani's room, and we don't know who they are, what they wanted, or what they were talking about. But I think there's more to this to come. It's only a guess, though, based off of something the victims have in common. Huh? Seriously? Ito leapt out of his chair in shock. Well, I couldn't blame him. We spent forever going over things they could have had in common. All we came up was that they both lived in Shibuya and both used Nikonia. Only are things that they were both semi-famous and they both died in a bizarre way. But that didn't tell us anything we didn't already know, did it?
気づかない
So
か
you didn't see the other thing they had in
別
common.
の共通点
I just now noticed that box up there says no spring water. Who the heck spring water was on it originally? Board told the bulletin board as I spoke. Ida looked really annoyed.
Damn it, you arrogant asshole. What's up with that thing you're printing out anyway?
そもそもこっちの気を引くように
One
プ
of
リ
the
ントアウ
best
ト
parts
して
of
るや
finding
つは
something
なん
like this was seeing the angry look on his face. Well, it was only yesterday that I found out myself, though.
じらさなくていいから
Relax. What did you
何を
find?
見つけたの
Caruso beckoned for me to go on. No matter what she said, after hearing all this, she probably wanted to know what came next. Oh, I finished printing. Is it gonna be the sumo thing? Hi there. Kazuki suddenly stood in front of me. She offered me the printed image without a word. Thanks. Then she offered me something else. Lollipop. Lollipop? Hell yeah. Are you giving me this? She nodded. Thanks. Thanks. Suzuki seemed to be communicating in her own unique way. She walked over to the bulletin board. What? And tapped the data printouts on the two cases with her finger.
和樹どうした
Kazuki, what's wrong? Hmm? She did it again. I saw the part she was pointing at and nodded.
そう
That's right, the dates.
日
The
付だよ
7th and the 19th.
共通点
That's what they have in common.
9月
Strange deaths
7
on
日と
September 7th and
9
September
月
19th.
19日
Ring a bell? Don't tell me that
渋
these are
谷で
the same
発生
dates
した
that
異
the
常な事件
new gen serial killings happened.
わかるだろ
I kept looking at Ito. Usually he would be the one to pick up on this. A second later...
Oh.
He froze. He must have figured it out.
Mm.
Yep. With your love of weird murders, you know what I'm talking
わかる
about.
だろ
I pinned the images I just printed out onto the bulletin board's map.
9月7日
September 7th, group
Shoodown
dive.
dive.
Yep, here we go. They're the same days that the original new gen serial killings happened.
9月19日
September or 19th,
妊娠男
man-child.
9月29日
September
貼
29th,
り付け
crucifixion.
10月10日
October
ヴァ
10th,
ンパイア
vampire.
10月23日
October 23rd,
ロータリー
numbskull.
10月28日
October 28th,
うまい手
finger food.
11月4日
November
ド
4th,
キュンパズル
Dokyun puzzle.
ニュージェネレーション
The
の
new generation madness. It's happening the same days. Yep. 6 years ago, in 2009, a series of strange deaths had occurred just before the earthquake that struck Shibuya on November 6th. They became famous for the words left by the killer. Whose eyes are those eyes? They called the killings the new generation madness. The murders took place in Shibuya, but the whole country took an interest in them. At the time, I was in 6th grade, and just like a lot of people, I followed every new development on the internet.
日付が6年前の事件
The
とぴっ
dates
たり
match up
一致して
exactly
るん
with
だ
the dates of the murders from 6 years ago.
自殺っ
They
ぽ
may
い
be
ってい
set
う
up
内
to
容は
look
と
like
もかく
suicides, but
猟奇
they're
的だと
every
いう
bit as
点でも
weird
同
as
じ
the old killings.
偶然でしょ
It's a coincidence. Is it? She seemed to be trying to force the words out from her throat. Caruso was acting a little strange. Her arms clutched her torso even tighter.
副部長
Vice President? Maybe it was because of all the creepy pictures she'd seen. Caruso was clearly shaking. She tried her best to stop it as she spoke. Stop trying to connect every little event. It's just a coincidence that they line up.
2つ
偶然かそうではな
We'll
い
know
か
for
す
sure
ぐに
soon.
わかるよ
The third new gen incident took place
ニュ
on
ージェネ
September
第3の
29th.
事件
In
が
other
起こった
words,
のは今日だ
today. Oh no.
もし今日
If something weird
渋谷
happens
で
in
また
Shibuya
妙
again,
な事
we'll
件が
know
起こ
for
った
sure.
ら
If a
その時
coincidence
は
happens 3
間違い
times,
ない
it's not a
偶然が
coincidence
3
anymore.
つ続くなんて放っておける要素じゃないだろ
A phone rang. It was mine. Hello.
はい、
Yes.
もし
hello?
もし
It's been a murder. Or maybe an accident. Well, either way, I think what you said might have happened.
I could feel my heart starting to race as she spoke. Oh boy. It It was a Love Hotel area in Dogenzaka, 5 minutes from Shibuya Station. A few days ago, there had been some kind of suspicious fire here, and I had to come here to do some reporting. The place was supposedly a love hotel spot, but even at night when business should have been booming, it wasn't particularly exciting. During the day, when all the lights were turned off, if you didn't look at the signs, it wouldn't look very different from your average neighborhood. One of the buildings was a 4-story love hotel with the terrible name Fairies Dance. It faced a narrow street, and there was no parking lot, so the police car was parked at a meter nearby.
This way.
Sarika was standing in front of the general store some distance away. She was supposed to be spending the day taking photos of the area around the last 2 crime scenes. What happened?
I don't know. I passed by Jinsan near 107, and he told me something up was up here.
I just don't get that guy. Where does he find out about this stuff? It's helpful, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. How much you want to bet Gensan's going to end up becoming important, like vitally important, later? Gensan was a homeless man I knew who had sold me all these books in my secret stash. He was a drunk who claimed to be one of noble blood, but the stories he told me about his past didn't sound very noble at all. The guy was a weirdo, but since he spent all his time wandering around Shibuya, he knew a surprising amount of info about it. Imagine it's just Takumi.
It seems like something's really happening, though. The policeman who just went in looked like he was calling for backup.
Are the others here with us? I see. I decided to start by taking a video of the outside of the hotel with my smartphone. You really run fast at times like these. I left the 2 of them in the club room, and they'd only just now caught up with me. They must have ran here. Ito especially was breathing very heavily. What? Kurusu came too? Kazuki had decided not to come, evidently. Of course not. I'd never seen her outside, except when we were going to and from school. So, something happened? I told Ito what I'd heard from Serika. He seemed really disappointed. What? You know what? I think that's a great image to save on. We're gonna go ahead and end it here for today. We're already off to a very interesting start. Somebody trying to follow up on the murders of the new gen killings, it seems. Plus, the character seems fun enough. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you all later. Peace. Wait. I have to take time to close the episode.